Monaghan County Museum was founded in 1974, and it's been serving the people of Monaghan for over 30 years. In that time, it's become recognised as a leader in the field of heritage, winning many awards such as the European Museums Prize and most recently a commendation in the Museum of the Year Awards for Best Collections Care. This is a museum at the heart of community, which works to preserve the historical treasures of the county and display them for all to enjoy. Our collection includes over 50,000 objects. The museum is open every day except Sunday, so come along and see the Monaghan story, from Ice Age to the Computer Age. Perhaps the most celebrated object in the museum's collection is the Cross of Clogher, dating to the 14th century. The cross is made of oak with bronze panels riveted to it. It's exquisitely decorated with Christian symbols, and it's an excellent example of art from that time. Although there's no written record of the cross, scholars have dated this religious relic to the 12th to 14th centuries from the different styles of Christian art. The question must be asked, why did they take the time to rivet thin, intricately decorated pieces of bronze to a wooden cross? Was it because it belonged to a very important religious leader of the time, perhaps a saint? Only time and further study may answer that question. Monaghan, like all counties throughout Ireland, is dotted with old estates. These sometimes enormous areas of land each belonged to one wealthy landlord, and they flourished during the 18th and 19th centuries. But nearly all fell into decline in the last 100 years. The museum holds maps covering many of the estates which existed in Monaghan. The most complete set are those of the Claremont estate from 1791, which later went on to become the Rossmore estate that covered much of the area around Monaghan town. A major part of the museum's service to the community is to provide information for those studying the history of the county, and the Claremont book is one of the most important resources. This relatively harmless-looking item struck fear in the hearts of many of those who were unfortunate to come into contact with it during the medieval era. The thumbscrew was a very simple but extremely effective form of torture. The victim's thumb was placed inside the instrument and pressure was slowly applied until the bone in the thumb was crushed. Other equally productive forms of information extraction included the tearing off of fingernails. The most straightforward way of doing this was with pliers, often heated red hot to rip out the nails by the roots. An even more cruel way to do this would have been by driving wooden wedges, needles, or splinters of wood, metal, or bone under the nails to pry them loose. It's this casual brutality that defined much of everyday life during the medieval period. This type of infant gas mask was distributed to Irish families during the emergency period of the Second World War. It was intended to be used in the event of a German poison gas attack, which in fact never happened. It is, however, a symbol of the fear and constant threat that the people of Monaghan and Ireland lived in during those turbulent years. When Monaghan County Jail was closed in 1894, an auction was held to sell off all the fixtures and fittings from the building. A local man called Henderson purchased the lock and key, and it was his grandson who donated it to the museum recently. The jail building was used up until 1932 as Monaghan Hospital, when it was demolished to make way for the hospital building that stands on the site today.